Okay. This is a little side presentation about UML. UML is Unified Modeling Language. It's basically how do we communicate our design to people? How do we communicate the design of our program to our business, to customers? How do we communicate the design to other programmers? And how do we use basically a design in order to diagnose or find problems in our code? Those are the three main uses, in my opinion, of UML. This quick presentation will help you understand, hopefully, what it is, how to do it, why we do it. But also, you'll be needing to do UML inside your project. Notice that for your requirements, you are required to do a use case diagram, and that's a UML use case diagram. All right, so we'll go through different diagrams, and then there is no homework. Ignore that slide. UML, standard language it's really for documentation, specifying how you do it, visualizing how it's done, constructing it, help you construct it, help you document, help you with the business model, help with communication. It's all about documenting here. There's different views. The use case, which is over here, where you have your beautiful stick figure pointing to different use cases. You have designers, your UML class diagram, where you're giving a picture of what a class looks like, and maybe analyzing to help you diagnose some system problems. Use case. So the use case is a really good diagram to give your boss or your customer to describe what it is your program does overall. And this is a great example. You have your customer on a csci, which is basically an online shopping, commerce-to-commerce shopping program. So the customer might be another business person. What can the customer do? And that's what this use case diagram. What high level can this customer do? Well, he can interact with the system by looking at the catalog, maybe selecting items. Maybe you can call a salesperson, get shipping info, give payment, and get confirmation number that you got it back. Does this talk about the code at all? No. This is just describing what it is your program does. And that's what the requirements are. I want to see something like this that just describes high level, what can your program do? You have the actor. Yes, and by the way, you're supposed to use that stick figure that looks just like that. I'm not joking. That's what it's supposed to look like. You could maybe put him like he has his hands going up or something, but make sure it's a stick figure. Otherwise, people will be confused. I'm not kidding. But the actor is someone who can interact with the system. The use case is describe an action that provides some measurable value. You know, getting a confirmation, browsing the catalog. The system boundary is the scope between your actor and what can be done. So notice that the customer may browse catalog here inside of your system. You may have more than one system boundary if you have more than one system in your use case diagram. Maybe the user has to interact with some other system before they can select the catalog. Maybe up here they'd have to go to Amazon and figure out what the item is. You know, they say, oh, you have this item. What does it do? Well, maybe they jump over to Amazon or Google and tells you what it does. So that'd be an example of two different systems. But here, the point of the system boundary is to signify what exactly our program is doing, or your program. Anything outside the box is beyond the scope of what your program is going to do. Okay, any questions on the use case diagrams? Because that'll be required for your class, for requirements. No? All right. Well, let's go. Let's see. I'm running out of windows. If you want, you can use Microsoft Visio to create this if you wish. I use Dia, and while Visio is definitely superior to Dia, Dia has the nice option in that it's free and it works on basically every platform I have tried to use. So that is why I use it. Feel free to use whatever you want. Let me resize this real quick. Okay. Inside of Dia, if you over here, you have a select on the little drop down. You can click on what type you want. Hey, look, UML. Hey, look, that terrible stick figure. What are we going to, oh, here we go. Let's do a UML case diagram, use case. What are we going to do it on? You want to do it on the house building?
Sure.
Sure, all right. It's the builder. And let's see, where's our system boundary? Large package. Wow, that thing did not. Uh-oh, I'm failing you. Totally failing you. There it goes. And what's this one? What if we do this? What does that do? Don't know? Well, I thought this would be easy, but I lied. That's the node. That's the activity. All right, we'll do the activity first. All right, and here the text is inside the box, the bubble, which is fine. What do we want to have the actor be able to do? Or the builder? Build house. All right. What else would we want them to do? Okay. Select materials. Maybe get the cost. Maybe it's in the process of building. You'd want to know layout. There we go. Okay, budget. How about let's combine this. Whoops. Let's combine it up here. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
Would time be included in the build house? Like the time it takes?
Yeah, we could do it in time. I meant to click that thing first. So here we could do, instead of get the cost, maybe we'd have financial report. That way we get the budget, how much it costs, et cetera, et cetera. We'll just put that in one. And what was your comment, sorry?
Like the time it takes to build a house, how long it takes.
Oh, so schedule. Schedule report. So how long it takes, because this could also include what's been done, a guess of how much time till completion. Okay. All right, we'll stop there. We obviously could add a bunch more. But inside of DIA, you can select what you want your arrows to be. I'm just going to make it a good old right arrow. And then we'll have this guy, and we'll just go point it to here. And we'll create another one. Point it to here. And not exactly the most beautiful picture. If the graphics design student wishes to make it better, that's perfectly fine. But once it's connected, you can move them all around and it'll keep the arrows where they're going. You could probably do a couple things to make this easier. But here's basically your use case diagram. And you'd need to make a box. And I don't see the option here, which is a little frustrating. Let me go to assorted. We'll take a box. We'll draw the box. And unfortunately it went on top. So you want to do, what was it? Send to back, and there we go. And then we can recreate this box. Maybe it should have been a rectangle. And that way that's the system boundary. Hey look, actor's outside of it. We'll move him all the way over here. Here's the different options inside of our system boundary box. Okay, simple use case diagram. All right, didn't take me too long. The big point, didn't take me too long to type it up. Most of the time you spend on this is going to be deciding what exactly the user can do. And that's the point, is we want to really drill down what can the user do. Any questions on this?
So things can go back to the user, right?
Yeah, I did arrows. So the user arrows builds a house, schedule report. So yeah, you're right. Maybe this one, they would get the schedule report, but it would actually be a two-way arrow. Oh, it didn't edit that for me, so I need to double click on it, and then I need to click right here, line style. Where'd it go? Start arrow, there we go. Like that, apply. Yeah, so now you can have arrows going both ways. So yeah, some of them can go back both ways. By convention, you usually just have it going from the actor to the action, because that's what they're doing. It's not like the system is telling the builder to do something. So in general, you want it this way. Any other questions? Great. No? All right. What are we doing? Okay, good. Class diagram. We'll go more in detail in this later, but I want to make sure you have an idea. Class diagram shows the actual class itself. You describe the class here. And it's interrelationships, including inheritance, aggregation, etc. We haven't talked about inheritance yet, but I want to show you can model them. But when you have your object, it's going to look something like this. First is the name, so it'd be class order. Its attributes, contact name, type string. The little locked here means private. Yeah, private. And then its operations are below. Notice that these have little functions, or I'm sorry, open close parentheses. And a relation you can draw from one object to another. And we'll talk about associations, aggregations, generalizations later on in this course. Tells you right now, but that's okay. We'll get to that later. Sequence diagram. This is useful for when you're trying to diagnose what's going on. It's really helpful to tell you, hey, look, what's the order of operations when you want to do something? For example, in here you have a student, and the student wants to enroll in the seminar. So student requests to enroll in seminar. Seminar says, okay, hold on. Hey, a course, is this student eligible? And the course says, well, hold on, let me go back to the student. Hey, what's your seminar history? Let me get your history. Okay, due to your history, do you meet the prereqs? Yes or no? Return that back to the seminar. The seminar says, oh, okay, so this is your eligibility status. And if you're eligible, I will enroll you. If not, I won't. And then it returns back the enrollment status. So you see how time is from the top going down, and it's just telling you the sequence of functions that are called for the object. Just helps clarify the order of operations. If you want to read about this, be my guest. But I'm really looking for this class and the future. When you join the workforce, you really just need to understand the basics. Use case, class diagram, why we're using them. Any questions? No questions? All right. Then I will let y'all have the last hour and 5 minutes to work on your labs and your projects. Please get started on your projects.